What's good, people? It's your man Animal Brown checking in for another episode of With That Being Said. You know how we get down, man. 5 topics. Each winner of each topic gets a point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the show gets the W, all right? I got Bougie Brother Sean in the building with me, and I've got Press Play Jones, okay? We're going to get straight to it, man, not waste any time. First topic, we're talking Kanye West. He's back in the news again for another rant, but this time he's got people a little more on his side about this particular rant. Now, it turns out that his publishing contract signed in 2003 does not permit him to retire or take any type of significant time off. Kanye is fighting to get out of the contract. He's been ranting everywhere. Let me ask you this, Sean. What do you make of this contract? Is he getting screwed?
Oh man, this is a contract that I didn't even know existed. I thought Kanye actually was on the verge of owning all of his work, but come to find out he owns nothing. Like, wow. So it scares me because the way it's going, it doesn't look like he's gonna get out of this situation. He's gonna have to spend a lot of money if he is gonna get out of this situation, and it's gonna have to be through settlements or whatnot. But the face value, I think Kanye's out of luck.
Jones, will Kanye get his masters back and get this thing situated?
I'm still trying to figure out how he got in this situation. Like, who advised him that this contract was signable? So I would hope Kanye's I thought he was an intelligent individual until I heard about this. But I mean, he has the money, he has the resources around him to fight to get his masters back, but the music industry hard. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's tough because he signed this when he was early in the game. So 2003, we got to think of, did we even know who Kanye was in 03?
Right.
I'm not even sure. So the thing is, he signed it, and then after a couple of years, he renegotiated, signed an extension that has now gone past a certain amount of time. His claim is that since it's been past 7 years, that there's some type of loophole he's trying to jump through to get it wavered. We saw Chris Brown just recently acquired his masters. We know Jay-Z had talked about that with a couple of his albums that he wanted to own his thing. So we know how important that is.
De La Soul's going through an issue right now with Tommy Boy. You know, they're not streaming. Well, they want to stream all of their stuff, but they won't pay for the samples. Yeah. So, you know, they're kind of in the bind with all that too. So, you know, for me, if De La Soul is still in that situation, man, and they're fighting, it's going to be kind of hard for Kanye West to get out of his.
I mean, you know, the difference between De La Soul and Kanye West is that he has Trump on his side.
Oh.
So he might be able to finesse some stuff to make it work. So I'm not counting Kanye out.
What if that was his whole thing this entire time, to get cool with Trump, to get his master? Jones just won that one. I'm sorry. Buzzer beater, because it was tight. Buzzer beater. Jones gets the point. I never would have thought of that. What if that was his whole thing the whole time? And then after a while, after he get his masters, he'll come out and be like, y'all, I just did that to get my shit back. He'll be a genius, labeled a genius. Everybody will love him all over again. So we'll see what happens. Oh, also one more note. To be fair, in those contracts, you see a lot of that verbiage where you can't retire because they're protecting themselves from you getting advance money and then the next day saying you want to become a painter and retiring from making music. And then they never recoup any of that money. So that's the verbiage that protects them. So it's not uncommon for that verbiage to not being able to retire, you know, to be in there somewhere. That's not as uncommon as people may think it is. But next topic, good luck with that, yay. Next topic, we're talking Gucci, all right? We all saw the controversial sweater that a lot of people think resembled blackface, which of course is a no-no in U.S. Society. T.I. took personal offense to this, called for the boycott, and he even released a diss record called Fuck Nigga, all right, aimed at Floyd Mayweather, who was just seen shopping in Gucci proudly. My question is for you, Sean. I'm right back at you. Are you behind the Gucci boycott? Is this worth T.I.'s time?
Oh man, this is an issue that should have been resolved. This is an issue that we should have been talked about years and years ago. As far as the culture, as far as the black community, I don't know if this really matters. You know, like I said, man, back in the day, we all joined together and shut down the whole bus system. You know, nowadays, if we want to shut down the bus system, we're getting pushback because, you know, people got to go to work and they feel like, you know, currency is more important than the power and togetherness of a community. So I understand what T.I. is doing, but you know, as separated as our community is and as separated and as crazy as everyone thinks on their own, you know, I think this is just smoke in the air, man, you know, unfortunately.
All right, Jones, how long will this last? Is this are you behind the Gucci boycott headed by T.I.?
Not headed by T.I. I am behind the Gucci boycott because that was just some BS. Like, that should have never occurred. And there's no excuse from these top brands to not know because it's happened too many times. And it's not ironic that it happened during Black History Month. So I don't think they respect the African American culture as much. I think we're only a small percentage of their sales, so they don't really care. And that's why it's happening so often. As far as Gucci, I have taken off my phone case and I went to Kate Spade. So I do not support Gucci right now, and I don't think I will. It will also save me some money.
Sean, do you think it's a disconnect that they're a foreign brand and that some of the things that we're looking at them sideways for are American history issues?
There's a thing called outrage marketing that seems to be a really hot thing right now. Even though even though they make a percentage off of us, our face sells more than what we actually purchase as a whole. So I feel like, yes, with the outrage of it, it's going to have the people who are going against their own people or the people who wants to just be their unique selves still shop with Gucci. The same way with R. Kelly's streams going up, same way with Michael Jackson's streams going up. Outrage marketing.
That's a very good point, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I've heard through the rumor mill that a lot of people, a lot of brands are maybe kind of doing something like this on purpose because at the end of the day, any pub is still good pub, apparently. And we saw it with Prada. We saw it with Burberry. We saw it with H&M. At the point, it'll run its news cycle after about a week, and then after that, it'll probably be done, and people will be back buying. You may have a couple of people fall off and throw their cases away, but then there's some people that this will go right past, and this will remind them, oh, shit, I did want some Gucci luggage. Let me go to the store and go get them. Thank you for seeing this news clip. Let me go in there and cop. So at that point, I got to give it to Sean. I was wondering which one of y'all was going to give that conspiracy theory that I've heard too. So very interesting. I guess we'll see where it goes from here. I don't have to worry about that. This is the easiest boycott ever. That shit costs too much. All right, next. Now, we know this is a hip-hop show, but we also know that sports and Kaepernick are part of the culture as much as hip-hop is. So I've got a good look, bad look, no look question for you guys. Colin Kaepernick settles out in court with the NFL. My question simply is this a good look, bad look, or no look? I'm going to start with you, Jones.
I guess I'll go with no look because the Kaepernick, I guess, time, Black people fell off, basically what I'm trying to say, is from supporting Kaepernick like that. Like, they forgot about the whole situation. They watched the Super Bowl. I saw so many Black people out during the Super Bowl in Atlanta. So he's not being supported, and he got to live his life. So I'm okay with him settling with the NFL.
Sean, is it a good look, bad look, no look?
Well, I think it's a good look because of the part of the community that still cared. It showed that we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. The goal initially was to get into the NFL's pockets, make them make them acknowledge what we had going on. With this settlement, it not only showed that they acknowledged it, but they wanted to, but they couldn't sweep it under the rug anymore. So I felt like it was a good look. Yeah, it's not a major look because, like I said, as a culture, we're all not going to be together. You know, I feel like, there's more white and brown people that's part of this black community or this culture than there is just all black in general. So, Kaepernick will always be our generation's Muhammad Ali, and I stand by him, and I've always stand by him, and I will still stand by him regardless of the decision that he makes, whether it's going back to the NFL or still fighting and protesting and standing for the people.
I'm surprised neither one of y'all brought up this. I spoke about a conspiracy theory with the last topic. I got one for this one. Okay. I think that he did all of this on purpose because he knew that he would get blackballed and that he knew that that would lead to him suing the league and that he knew that he'd have an easy layup case. They saying that the settlement was worth between 60 and 80 million. So that is a 60 and 80 million dollar size deal. Neither one of y'all get a point. I get the point for this one. This was a huge, stupid, big boy, $60 million deal. I think he did it on purpose, and I think it was smart as hell. I think the money's in good hands. I don't think he's he's opposing or anything like that. I rock with Cap heavy. So I hope he goes on to do great things. He's probably done with talking about the NFL. He had to have signed something that said he can't write a book about it. He can't do anything about that. So you can cancel hearing about him from the NFL. But that point goes to the host today because neither one of y'all mentioned that. Big boy numbers, $80 million. It's a huge deal. All right, next question. We all tied up, damn it. We all got 1 point. We're going to talk T-Pain, man. He dropped a surprise project called One Up. He was also on TV. He won the game show The Masked Singer, hosted by Nick Cannon. Jones, is T-Pain, are we undervaluing his contribution to hip-hop? Would you say he's hip-hop Hall of Fame worthy?
I definitely think he's hip-hop Hall of Fame worthy. We wouldn't have so many people doing freaking auto-tune if it wasn't for him. As far as the album, I think it's okay, mediocre, kind of. But no, he's definitely hip-hop Hall of Fame. He's contributed so much to music. Even on the LMA song, he killed it. Like, he did. He was the best version of it. T-Pain is hip-hop Hall of Fame, I guess.
All right. Is he first ballot hip-hop Hall of Fame, Sean?
First ballot? Yeah, I would have to say so. He put Plies on. Shawty was a hit when it came out. There was when Lil Wayne was at his climax, T-Pain was right there making hits with him. Before Drake was the hook master, it was T-Pain. So, you have to definitely give him the credit. And then of course the auto-tunes, that's just a sprinkle on the top with the cherry, so there's a lot of things that T-Pain has contributed in that he needs to get a lot more respect for. Again, there would still be a Drake, but I don't think that lane would have been as easy if T-Pain didn't pave the way prior to Drake getting there.
Jones, why do you think he doesn't get the credit? Is it because of the auto-tune and people look at that as a gimmick?
I'm not really sure why he doesn't get the credit. That's a good question. You got me stumped on that one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Sean,
you got me on that.
Why do you think he doesn't get the credit?
They don't give him the credit because he doesn't have a classic album. That's why. I've heard a lot of people say that, who listens to T-Pain albums? Which is like after the first album, it was like,
we didn't listen to the first one either.
Does he still make them?
Yeah, we know. We didn't listen to the first one either. The singles. He's known as a single person, which is like you said, he doesn't have a classic project. So that's a very good point. That one goes to you, Sean. And you also named his influences, people that have kind of come off of his tree. You could argue he's not Hall of Fame because of his auto-tune and making it what it is in hip-hop today, because now it's saturated with it. That's my only issue. But shout out to T-Pain. I didn't listen to that One Up, and I don't plan on listening to it. So I'll take Jones's word that it was just okay, because that sounds about right. All right, we're going to the final round. Now, we're talking 21 Savage. Now, he had some legal issues a little bit earlier in the year. Of course, he was detained by ICE. It turned out that he is not originally from Atlanta, like a lot of people may have thought. He was born in the UK, spent a lot of his time growing up there, moved over here, somewhere between 7 and 12, 13, depending on who you ask. So a lot of people also think that there may have been a hidden agenda behind ICE pulling up on him at the time that they did. Sean, is there an agenda going on behind the 21 Savage situation?
There is an attack on black masculine men in the United States of America. I said it. If you ain't heard it nowhere else, you heard it from me. This man, when they pulled up on him, they said, "We got 21. We got 21. That's not the man's name, man. Why are we attacking him for a rap name and then for issues that he's just not supposed to be in this country? So, yeah, I definitely think it was for the Democrats to kind of push this immigrant agenda and pushing the bills and all of that other extra stuff, but this isn't a political show.
Okay, fair enough. Now, do you see the agenda behind this, Jones?
Yeah. The whole thing with 21 is like, if he stayed under the radar rapping about guns and hoes and whatever, then they wouldn't have bothered him. When he started to try to make a change in the community and start talking out or speaking out on different platforms, that's when his name started to raise a flag, and he knew he wasn't here legally. So I don't blame him, but yeah, when you have a little power and you have influence over people, they can use you to basically use you as, what am I trying to say?
Make an example out of
you.
To
make an example out of you. So as soon as he started speaking out and trying to do something better for the community, that's when they came after him. If he stayed under the radar, they wouldn't have came after him. So yeah, it was definitely an agenda behind this. That's
a fact, and it felt personal. They even released a statement on Twitter saying that his rap facade was all fake, and I thought that was very interesting to come from a government agency speaking on someone's celebrity personality being fake. That sounded very personal and like it was an agenda going on. Sean was the first to call it that. And he made the big, bold Kanye statement that that there's an attack on black masculinity, which I can't argue with. That one goes to Sean. He wins the episode today. You got the final word. What you got to say?
Yes, sir. Got to get it done, man. But make sure y'all go and check me out on IG at Bougie Brother Sean. That's BOUGIE Brother Sean. And also got me and my pops, we review music at Car Wax at Bougie Brother Network. Make sure y'all go check that out, bougiebrother.network.com.
There it is. Shout out to Pops, man. We'll see y'all next week.